Welcome, maybe welcome back. We're out here trying to get as much fall garden cleanup done as we can. We've got to harvest some stuff and get a few things done before our frost comes and hits us. It is currently getting close to the end of October, so it's crunch time as far as getting a few things done out here. I'm Lily, and this is our guest for today, Clover, our new baby girl. We're just out here doing some garden work.
So at this point in the season, the garden was looking pretty full. Got a nice shot with the sunset there.
Harvesting the corn.
Yeah, we really didn't get that much from the corn. I ended up using that as a Halloween decoration. My neighbor was very happy about that.
It was pretty disappointing, actually.
It was, for the few pieces of corn that we did get, they were very pretty, I will say that. So we'll try again, see what we can come up with. But corn's just not really our thing here.
I don't think that I watered it enough or gave it enough nutrients. So, it was a learning experience. Oh, the tomatoes.
Yeah. They kind of got to be a mess.
I neglected it hard.
It could have been a lot worse. So what we ended up doing was rolling through and getting everything off the plants, and I'm actually in the back there just pulling everything I can off of the ground. There was a lot of cherry tomatoes that were just on the ground. I'll show them here in a second. I'm collecting them in that little plant pot. Yeah, all those were just on the ground.
I tried to harvest as many as I could from the top of the plants and just get everything that I could. Peppers and tomatoes were the star of the show this season.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Here we are harvesting peppers. All the peppers.
There were a lot of peppers, specifically a lot of serrano peppers and habaneros.
I canned at least 6 jars. I sliced them, pickled them. Pretty excited to try those actually because pickled peppers are usually pretty delicious. So I think
they make for some good sauces, I tell you what. Sometimes I sound like Peggy Hill whenever I'm saying these pepper names. Habla Español. I think those were the last tomatoes in the garden, just ripening up, and those were rogue tomatoes. They just came out of the compost.
Plants,
yeah. So here's the last of the patio garden. This just had a few like potted plants. So we had a few extra peppers, and then some special things that we were trying out this year, like lemon balm, lavender,
rosemary.
Yeah, so we're just moving all of these in from the patio. We're actually moving them into the greenhouse because that's a new thing this year. We didn't have the greenhouse whenever it got cold last year. So we're going to see how well they do in there.
We actually have several plants that are still going in there even though we've already had a frost now. So that's pretty exciting.
That's some dill there with some flowering basil. There was so much basil that we had. Here she's getting some sage.
Yeah, I was trying to harvest sage, parsley, thyme, cilantro, just all kinds of different herbs that were in that bed. That way we could dry them and save them.
In our new dehydrator, which we didn't have before.
Yeah, that's actually been a huge game changer in preserving food.
There's everything on the table looking really nice. I really like that shot.
All of the tomatoes. Yeah, some of the tomatoes were not ripe when we just went ahead and harvested them anyway.
Look at those speckled Romans. They look like they're on fire.
Yeah, those are really interesting looking. Lots and lots of peppers.
So I believe those first ones were the Thai hot chili peppers, and these ones over here are the Santakas and the Shishitos together. We put the Japanese peppers together.
These are Islander purple bell peppers.
Yeah, along with a little California bell pepper. And then here's our serranos here. That was all the bell peppers that we had. But there's 2 piles of serranos. And then here's all the habaneros. And there's all our herbs, one after the other. I think the thing to remember about this year is that we were experimenting.
That was our last big harvest.
Now we're going to be getting ready for next year.
Alright, so we harvested a lot of stuff from the garden. Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, everything that we could. We have sort of been neglecting the garden towards the end of the season this year, but it was for a very good reason because we've had her. She came first. We're just doing what we can now, and we're going to try and preserve as much of this harvest as we can, and we will definitely be planning our garden for next year. There's always more to do, but when you have a little one, do what you can when you can. Don't give up, keep growing. This is Lily and Clover from Homegrown Haven Farm, and we'll see you next time.